So as we review today with solving exponential equations, as we review solving exponentials, it's important for you to remember that exponential equations, which are in the form of b to the x equals a, can be rewritten as the log base b of a equals x. So that means I can go back and forth between the two forms and I can solve problems. This is helpful because sometimes I get problems that are complicated to solve. Like, let's give an easy one. So if I have 4 to some power, 4 to the x equals 16, you're pretty smart and you could figure out that in this particular problem, x would have to be 2 because that's the only way, like 4 squared is what's going to give me 16. But when I get a more complicated problem like 4 to the x equals 75, I can't exactly just look at it and figure that out. Well, that's where logs come in. So I can actually rewrite this problem as the log base 4 of 75 equals x. And I just rewrote that based on what I had up here, going between exponential form to log form. And then this you can actually put in the calculator. So it says the log base 4 of 75, which is 3.11. So my answer to this problem would be 3.11. And that's really all that we're working on, is just how do we solve these problems. So to give you some more examples, because that's really all this is, we're just going to give some examples. If I had 8 to the x equals 142, I can write that in log format as the log base 8 of 142 equals x, and then this is something I can type in my calculator. When I type that in, it's going to give me 2.38. When you round, I want you to round to the nearest hundredth place, which means I want the decimal and then the next two numbers, but make sure that you round appropriately. So another problem, if I had 10 to the x equals 5. Well, I can write that in log form as the log base 10 of 5 equals x, and then I can type this whole log base 10 of 5 in the calculator, and that tells me that x in this problem is 0.70. Our final problem is if I have e to the x equals 15. So applying our rules, that means that I would write this as the log base e of 15 equals x. And this is not bad. This is not wrong. But one of the things we talked about was that if I have the log base e, that's really the same thing as saying ln, or the natural log of 15 equals x. So the log base e is the same thing as the natural log. And when you type in the natural log of 15, you get that x equals 2.71. So that would be my answer to this problem.